Alright, here's another one of those walking short vlogs. I just wanted to say I want to up my YouTube game and also link it to my podcasting game. So basically every one of these vlogs is going to be turning into a podcast. And you know, in order to silence my inner perfectionist, I had this great idea the other day because I was watching a lot of Nathaniel Drew, and I'm also pretty inspired by the business tactics of Ali Abdaal, who has like more than a dozen income streams and is doing interesting stuff now and then. Also podcasting. I thought, I don't have to do that right now. That's insane. I'm starting out. I don't have an audience. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I don't have that much time or capacity for this. You know, half the work is being done by my awesome assistant. So how about we just start small, we keep doing this, work on consistency, build up systems, build up ideas and feedback, tips and tricks. And then, once I have this huge collection of vlogs, I can go back, take the best ideas and moments of what I said, and then re-record them properly, like with a script, with better hair, better cinematography all around, and with actual editing, because these are one-take videos, which I'm doing, of course, due to efficiency reasons, and they don't even have overlays or anything. I might start doing that soon. But yeah, I'm trying to build up a massive backlog of videos, but every time it starts working, I'm like, oh, I have like 3 weeks planned in advance and pre-scheduled and all ready to go. I could just chill now, and that's really bad, because obviously you have to keep going if you want to keep building up the backlog. There should be more and more and more videos ready, not constantly playing catch. So, you know, when I have 3 weeks planned, then that week I still need to do 2. Then I have 5, and then if next week I do 2, well, I've only released 1, then I'll have 6 again, and so forth. I do 2 and release 1, then I have 7, and so the backlog keeps growing even as the weeks go by. And in order to just create a lot of content that I can then work with later, I decided I'm going to start releasing 2 videos per week. So that's a huge challenge for me, because I haven't been able to stick to 1 per week yet, but I feel like 2 would be really good for my algorithm as well as for the creative juices that I just spoke about. And yeah, it'll really force me to, you know, be more on top of my game, actually, because the more I create content, whether it's video, writing, podcasting, the more basically I have to think. Like, I have to have something interesting to say, which means I'm going to go out in the world and find interesting stuff. There's just this predisposition that you activate. So I'll go read more, I'll have more interesting thoughts with people, I'll pay more attention to my thoughts and try to remember them. It just happens automatically on the subconscious level. So it's good for me to create a lot. And so, yeah, first I'm going to start with the weekly ones, moving them to Thursday now, because then that also gives me this buffer in case I didn't manage to do it by the end of the previous week, that I have 3.5 days instead of just 1.5. So Thursdays, and then depending on how much of a backlog I have, either it will just be 1 Thursday and then start immediately with Tuesdays and Thursdays, or do Thursdays for a couple weeks and then double it up. And then the goal, of course, is once the backlog is big enough that I can start adding post-production. I think that's the first step I want to do, is to add little animations, images, whatever, to illustrate what I'm talking about, because that's also something that's very easy to outsource and doesn't require the clipping part of editing. And once that's in place, then we can think about clipping together different pieces of video, so actual editing, cutting. And then once all of that's in place, then I can think about creating more planned, structured, quality material. And then I'm well on their way to becoming the next Nathaniel Drew. So that's it for today. I'm arriving now at the station. And so take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Still working on not getting awkward around people in public. But here I am. I did it. It's a beautiful sunset. See you around.